the tea? What's 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 the tea?
Hello everybody, I am the Water Bear, and welcome back to the Water Bear's Tea. In this video, we're going to be chatting about the North Node in Gemini. Alright, starting on May the 5th, the North Node is going to move into Gemini, and will be moving through the sign of Gemini until January of 2022. Okay, now think back to late 2001 through 2003. And think back then to see what you were doing, what you were focused on, what you accomplished at that time, what you went through, because that was the last time the North Node was moving through the sign of Gemini, okay? The North Node takes 18 months to move through one sign and 18 years to move a full circle through the zodiac, okay? So wherever an energy is, you can look 18 years prior to that to see the focus, basically, okay? We just wrapped up the North Node in Cancer, and that started November of 2018 and is just wrapping up now. And the last time we had that was late 1999 through 2001, and we were dealing with a lot and collectively, and notice how much we've been dealing with since 2018 collectively and just in our lives as well. A lot of major challenges. I'll go more into depth about why in a second. And so when we're having this shift now to the North Node in Gemini, this is definitely bringing in a strong new energy for us. Okay, so let me start off by going into what the North Node is, if you're not super familiar with the North Node. The North Node is not necessarily a planet. It doesn't have a physical tangibility, but it's a point in the sky, okay, that deals with the intersection between the moon's orbit and the ecliptic of the Earth, okay? And so it deals with the North Node. I always see is just a very faded and very karmic point. You know, anytime I just had recently the North Node, when it moved through Cancer, hit over my Mars and my Juno, and literally the day it was on my Mars was a very big event for me. But it pulls you into like a higher path. It pulls you. It's kind of like Dorothy moving down the yellow brick road to get to Oz. You know, she meets these people, and it's all about the North Node. It's all about moving you to an unknown place. The North Node is the point of growth and the point of least experience, because the only thing constant in the universe and life is change. It really is. And so the North Node is that point of change. The North Node has an opposite point, which is the South Node, which deals with the place of comfortability, things you've done, the things you are good at, your past. I look a lot in birth chart readings at past lives, and the North Node and the South Node are one of the main things that bring a lot of insight about past life incarnations and your purpose in this life, because it is that very karmic point. Okay. It's the axis of your soul's growth, okay? And so wherever it moves through the collective, we are collectively growing. As well, whatever we're doing in collective, we're also personally doing. I'll explain kind of the examples of what we've been feeling since November 2018, and what we'll feel coming up with North Node and Gemini in a second. But wherever the North Node moves, it really shows what we're, growing in. And where the South Node moves, which is always completely opposite of the North Node, is showing what we're shedding, what we're working on purging and cleaning up, okay? The South Node is not solely about releasing. When I first got into astrology, I read a few places and was reading certain books that said a lot about the North Node is what you want to accept and embrace because it's uncomfortable for your soul. It's the place where your soul, has the least experience, which is true. South Node is what you should shed and get rid of. And it really kind of threw my path off a little bit, because my intention became solely going towards my North Node and not performing my South Node. And I really have realized since then that it's a lot about the embracing of both and the learning to take your South Node, your past, and pick what's good from your past, the things that your skills, and embrace the darker aspects of your past as well to get awareness of them. Um, but it's not about abandoning your South Node. It's about using your South Node gifts to get you through your North Node and get you more acquainted with your North Node, okay? And so we've had a lot of, just a lot going on recently with the North Node in Cancer and the South Node in Capricorn. You can check out my Instagram channel. I just made a post about it and talked about it a little bit. It has this little meme, but I'll now go into what the North Node in Gemini means and also what we've just come out of, okay? Because now that I kind of talked about the North Node, you get a gist of what the energy brings with the North Node, okay? And the North Node, you also have that point in your birth chart, and so you can look in your birth chart and see where your North and South Node is. Once I give this general description of what this transit is bringing us, I'm going to show the chart real quick so you can see visually what the North Node looks like in the South Node. Well, on the chart I'm going to show, it doesn't show the South Node, but it's basically the same symbol, just reversed, okay? And so you can look in your chart and see where is the North Node, where is my soul wanting to grow, wanting to develop, but also what is uncomfortable for me, what is kind of unknown for me, okay, or harder for me to access because it's least experienced in, okay? And also, what's my South Node? Where am I coming from? What am I good at? What was a past life focus for me, okay? And then you can even look at, if you're coming in with good karma, if you have a lot of karma to pay off, depending on how your nodes are aligned and what they're aspecting. It's a lot you can do with the nodes to look at your purpose, okay? But that's just kind of a gist on the North Node and the South Node, okay? So, since November of 2018, we've had the North Node in Cancer and the South Node in Capricorn, okay? Before that, because I want to give a little bit, I feel like I should give 2 examples so you can really understand how the North Node plays out, okay? From May 2017 until November of 2018, we had the North Node in the sign of Leo and the South Node in the sign of Aquarius, okay? Leo is about the self, is about self-love, self-expression, honoring the self, standing up for the self, understanding your inner child and what makes you happy. Leo rules over the 5th house about children, your hobbies, your creative passion, and what brings you joy, okay? Lastly, Leo is about your sense of pride, your sense of, and developing a healthy ego, okay? And it also deals with how you deal with appreciation, how you deal with attention, okay? And how you go by getting that, all right? And Aquarius is in the same axis of Leo. Both deal with love, okay? Leo is about self-appreciation, self-love, all right? Burning the light of self, okay? Having the pride of the lion. Okay, I notice I have my Leo ring I love wearing because even though I'm an Aquarius, I'm a sun 5th house, okay? I'm a 5th house sun, it's better said. Meaning I hold a lot of that Leo energy. My Aquarius energy is expressed in the characteristics of Leo, okay? And so I really, resonate with both energies, okay? But regardless of that, the Aquarius is the axis of love that deals with how your unique self fits in the puzzle with everyone else, okay? And how your unique self, how you can use your unique gifts and your individuality. Both Leo and Aquarius rule individuality, okay? But Leo is more individuality to understand the self and express the self, and Aquarius is more individuality to use that to innovate something new, break out of a mold, and help progress, okay? And so what you saw was from May of 2017 until November of 2018, a massive growth in people getting kind of side jobs or really realizing what they're passionate about. A lot of people found new passions in that time. A lot of people, really listened to their heart. People in my family, I know someone that started doing DJing because he's always liked music. A lot of people started passion projects is the word I'm looking for. You also saw major tests in courage, okay, and standing up for yourself, all right, and what you're standing up for your heart, okay. I went through a lot at that time dealing with being strong within myself, okay, and listening to my heart. It was also a major time of people realizing, you know what, I need to have more fun, okay? Because Leo and Cancer deal a lot with fun and feeling nurtured, feeling secure, and the inner child is very Leo and Cancer. And so since May of 2017 until now, because we've moved through North Node Leo and Cancer, it's been a strong focus on our inner child. Okay, May 2017 through November 2018 was more about expressing that inner child, learning about what makes your inner child happy, reconnecting with what you did as a child, finding more joy inside, that kind of thing, picking up your inner child. And then from November 2018 until now, it's been about healing your inner child, listening to your inner child, protecting your inner child, making your inner child in your past feel secure, okay? A more receptive energy of that, all right? And so that's a lot of what you've seen the growth in. With the South Node, though, the South Node is interesting, okay? The South Node, when it moved through Aquarius, oh my God, because I have so many planets in Aquarius, it was like a lot was going on. It's about shedding. I released a lot of associations I had. I released a lot of who I thought I was. It's a lot of release that comes with the South Node, okay? And from May of 2017 until November 2018, the South Node was in Aquarius, about releasing associations. Aquarius rules friendships, so notice how your friendships went and the people you're connected with. You probably shifted who you wanted to connect with between May of 2017 and November of 2018, okay? Aquarius rules hopes and wishes. So there was a major purging. I released a lot of what I thought I wanted and embraced a lot of new things, okay, that honored my heart, Leo, which is North Node Leo, and released a lot of old hopes and wishes, okay, Aquarius. There was a lot of release, and you notice that a lot of like the algorithms and a lot of monitoring and things began to creep into the internet because Aquarius rules over the internet. So there was a lot of shedding and release and interesting things going on there as well. Okay, but most interestingly, there we go. From November of 2018 until now, the South Node has been in Capricorn. Okay, and that's been the toughie. So I just explained North Node Leo and South Node Aquarius from May 2017 until November of 2018. So you can kind of get a gist of what that felt like, okay? And you can see how, if there were any lessons you went through about shining your light, about embracing your hobbies, about being creative, expressing yourself, tapping into your self-worth, okay, building your courage, and about shedding friendships, about shedding old mentalities, okay, old networks, right? And then from November 2018 until now, the North Node in Cancer is a lot about embracing your emotions, validating your emotions. The South Node in Capricorn is about what society says, what people say, what you should do, okay? The way things are, okay? And over the past 18 months, it's been a release of that and an embrace of the North Node in Cancer, which is like, people have been put in situations like, well, I know this is the way people have been doing it for so long, or I know this is what I should do, but this is what I feel I should do. This is what I feel I'm called to do. This is what my heart, my intuition is telling me to do. There's been this pull back and forth and a release of the way things were and an embrace and more heart-centered, more self-honoring activities, boundaries. There's been a lot of boundary changes over the past 18 months. I know that, you are family, or I know that you are my boss, or I know that, you are the government, but I feel this way. I deserve this respect. Whatever it is, okay? That's been very, looking at that, because the South knows what we've been shedding, and North Node is embracing your heart in Cancer, embracing your intuition. Cancer rules over the womb, your gut, instinct, okay? Leo is the heart, so we've really been learning to embrace our heart and our gut instinct over the past 3 years, really, since May of 2017, okay? And so, since November of 2018, though, the North Node in Cancer is also the divine feminine energy, okay? North Node Leo is the divine masculine energy. North Node, Leo energy is divine masculine. Cancer energy is divine feminine. So since November 2018, it's been about validating your emotions. No matter what the situation is, you feel a certain way for a certain reason, and that matters. So listen to that, okay, and follow that, no matter what people say, Okay, that's been the lesson the past 18 months. Your intuition, paying attention to it. Okay, Capricorn is about getting things done, putting in heavy work, responsibility. There's been this pull the past 18 months to release the need to always be productive. Okay, and it's been about embracing the need to rest, and embracing the need to just be. The Cancer energy to me is really strongly like the Empress. Okay, about just being and embracing who you are. Okay, and not needing to feel like, in order to feel worthy or feel like you're being productive, you got to constantly be doing things. Okay, so over the past 18 months, it's been a lot about honoring who you are and learning to rest, learning to pause, learning to have, balance between work and home. Cancer's home, Capricorn's work. There's been a lot of shift in that. A lot of people over the past 18 months have decided to grow an at-home business or an online business, okay, or become self-employed. These are all things that are more Cancer, nurturing of the self, focusing on the home. I've also seen people taking on family businesses or taking on things that past traditions did. Cancer rules over tradition, okay? So embracing that, all right? And a release of Capricorn, a release of the 9 to 5. You've seen a lot of people leaving jobs like that or minimizing it. Or you've seen a lot of people now in the focus of, okay, I have this side project, but until it grows into it's fully sustained, I'm going to have kind of do both, okay? But you notice the attention is beginning to turn, okay? And so that is a lot of what that Cancer Capricorn brought to us as well, okay? Capricorn energy is very the way things are. And so you've seen a lot of release of that. People really challenging the way things are. You also have seen the South Node, when it moved through Capricorn, passed over Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter as well, okay? And Mars, okay? Which is a lot of activity. It was a lot of releasing and shedding, okay? Literally the day the South Node was on top of Saturn in Capricorn, that's when I moved from New York back down here, okay? That exact day, that was a major shedding for me of a major structure I had built over the past 7 years, my life, in New York. And so it was I realized over the past year that it was, okay, I'm ready for something new. So it was a major release that happened then, okay? And so there was so much shedding and releasing that's been occurring, major things in our life. It's not just a release of what we think we, once was, what once was. It's not just a release of wanting to work less. This has been major releases of patterns. Capricorn rules the structures of your life, the mental structures you have, any patterns and routines set up to get you somewhere, okay? People have shed lots of partnerships that were not honoring the emotions, not honoring or emotionally gratifying or not filled with love. Capricorn is about limitation, restriction. Capricorn is about, also is about, someone having control over you, the authorities. So there's been a lot of release of, people have realized over the past 18 months that there's someone over them, or there's someone that's really restricting their full expression. There's been a lot of the release in that, okay? It's been a very, 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 dense energy over the past 18 months. Very tough to move through. You've seen so much. Look at all the bankruptcies occurring personally, but also in the global scheme, okay? And notice we're going through, with this pandemic, it's torn up the economy and torn up big business, which is Capricorn. And this is at the very end of this 18-month transit, okay? And the push towards more family, Cancer, we're all at home, okay? If you think back to the last time that the nodes were in Cancer and Capricorn, it was the 9/11 occurred, okay? Which was looking at a lot of, of the corruption, destruction in big business and government, right? War and all kind of stuff looking at that. And it pulled people towards home. It connected people and to their roots more. It grew nationality more. And it also kind of began the shifting with the South Node and Sagittarius, which we're about to go into, of enforcing new travel limitations and that kind of thing, okay? Before 9/11, you had a lot more freedom in airports, but now there's a lot more restriction, okay? And notice Capricorn also rules over restriction, so that kind of plays in there, okay? So that's kind of the energy of what's been happening with the North Node in Cancer South Node in Capricorn. It's been tough, okay? Because also, learning to really embrace, look how much you've learned to embrace your emotions, listen to them, deal with them, process them, okay, over the past 18 months. Look how much family has been a focus, home has been a focus, finding new inner security, okay? Cancer rules the root of your existence, your emotional base, okay? Who you were at birth, like the birth of you, okay? It's been a lot of that focus. And also with what I just said, the birth, it made me think of Cancer is birth. It rules over the home, okay, and the womb. And so a lot of people have birthed something new over the past 18 months. You found out what you loved in Leo, okay? And then it's now about birthing something new, embracing something new, and fostering something, the mother, which is Cancer, over this past 18 months, okay? And now we're moving into Gemini, all right? So now let me talk about this. North Node Gemini, South Node Sagittarius, okay? Gemini rules over connectivity, all right? Gemini rules over the arms and the lungs, okay? It's about the communication, the sharing with other people, talking, socializing. But it also rules over, like, it deals with siblings. It also is the Lover's card in tarot, so it deals with your close relationships, okay? Gemini rules over the third house, and that rules over your local surroundings and how you grew up, okay? Your early development. It's the networking. It's the grocery store you go to. It's your favorite bar, you know what I'm saying? It's the place you go to work out. It's your local environment, okay? Let's see, Gemini is how your mind works, how your mind is connected, how you connect the dots when you think. It's connectivity, it's curiosity, it's learning new things, it's sharing, okay? I have Gemini Moon, Gemini South Node, Gemini Midheaven. I have a lot of Gemini placements, okay? So notice my channel. I'm always communicating something, sharing, connecting with other people. That's something I love to do, and putting words together, writing, okay? This is all Gemini, expression through the throat chakra, okay? Singing, writing, written things, vocal expression, all that is Gemini, okay? And so these things are going to be enhanced over the next 18 months, an enhanced energy of the mind, okay? Now we're moving from a yin, feminine energy of Cancer and Capricorn, that's feminine, to a yang, expressive energy of Gemini Sagittarius. So this is going to be a more outwardly focused energy the next 18 months, okay? Similar to how it was May 2017 until November 2018, okay? I noticed a more inward turn from November 2018 until now. More people have been isolated, at least internally isolated, dealing a lot. They might be around people, but they've got a lot going on inside, okay? With the North Node Gemini, this is going to be more about, okay, now turn outward. We've healed a lot inside. We've thought a lot about where we want to go. Now it's about connecting with other people, learning new things to get us onto the next path. Sharing, traveling, exploring, okay, being curious, and growing our network around us, okay? And really, really growing the mind. That's the main thing, okay? That's going to be the focus the next 18 months, okay? Written work, written publications. If you do have a career in speaking, in writing, in verbal expression, some way podcasts, YouTube channels, you write, you do blogs, you journal, poetry, whatever, okay? These things are going to be enhanced over the next 18 months, okay? Home was very enhanced the past 18 months. Food, learning a lot about your past childhood experiences, traumas, healing, nurturing others. That's been the main focus the past 18 months, okay? But this 18 months is not really going to be a lot about the mind-centered area, people wanting to connect and learn more, okay? So that's where we're growing into. So over this next 18 months, you're going to realize how much you've learned. You're going to see a lot more people in the collective opening their minds to new things and not being so fixed in a certain belief, because Sagittarius rules your beliefs. So with the South Node moving to Sagittarius, it's going to be people are open to shedding what they once believed, okay, what they once saw for themselves, okay, releasing that, right, and opening themselves up to something new, okay, which I'm so excited for, because this is going to open more people up. What I feel like is, as we're moving to the age of Aquarius, which is really coming very soon, I'm thinking that, by 2023, we're really going to see a major shift into moving in a new way collectively, okay? And you're really seeing a lot of breakdown now to get us prepared for that. This is going to be opening people up to new ways of thinking, okay? And, you know, whatever you think manifests. What you believe is what you achieve, okay? And so this is why this is a very important transit. We've needed to heal. We've needed to release a lot of things so that we don't, you know, when you have wounds and traumas, it clouds your mentality. It weakens your manifestations. You know, it throws you off because you have certain wounds, certain insecurities that keep you from a solid mind, a clear mind, to know exactly the best, you know, route for yourself. And so with this change and this move into North Node Gemini, people are going to be opening their minds, learning new things, and you know, broadening their mind and learning as well. The North Node is about getting into your higher awareness, okay? So learning the best thing for themselves. Not saying everybody's going to be learning the exact same thing, but people are going to be learning new things that are going to boost themselves, okay? And the spiritual is for everybody. The spiritual represents, you know, your understanding of yourself and how you work and how, you know, you're connected with other people, okay? And the understanding of the way things are put together and not just the surface understanding of things. And so everybody's going to be embracing, you know, their spirituality more, okay? And with the South Node of Sagittarius, they're going to be questioning their beliefs and shedding a lot of what they once thought, they once did, who they once were, that kind of thing, okay? There's going to be a shedding as well, a purging in religion, because Sagittarius rules religions, okay? Higher thought, okay? Questioning of higher thought, going back to old philosophies and researching old philosophies, and, you know, South Node is the past, okay? So going back in the past and looking at old ideologies and old, you know, the way things were. That's a lot of how I made it through my awakening process and have been making it through, and how I've embraced a lot of the spiritual is going back and being really interested in what the ancients were talking about, esoteric knowledge, okay, and applying that to my life. So that's what a lot of people are going to be doing, okay. Let's see. You're going to see, again, like I was saying, religions. You know, a lot of people realizing with Gemini is more about the self, your own mind, okay, seeking for your own gratification mentally. So people are going to be leaving places that, you know, speak knowledge, which is Sagittarius, the teacher, the guru, and going more to learning on their own, okay? Media is also with Sagittarius, so there's going to be a lot more people realizing, finally, hopefully. I've always been speaking about it on my channel, like, don't listen too much to the media, that kind of thing. There's going to be people really realizing, oh, the media doesn't always share the truth, you know, that kind of thing. And going more to looking online or researching, getting their own factual understanding of things, okay, which is Gemini, okay. Going away from people telling them things and just believing it, okay, and actually going and doing research to see what it is for themselves, right? And once people do that, a lot is going to be revealed. Once I did that, you know, I have so much Gemini, I always am looking and curious. Once I started to realize history ain't even half real, you know, all the things that are spoken on aren't really that real, it changed my life, which is what I think a lot of people are going to be experiencing with this next 18-month transit, okay? Colleges, higher learning is also in Sagittarian energy. So more people are going to realize, okay, and it's going to be, you know, two options. Either they're going to realize, in order for me to get somewhere, I'm going to need to go back to school. So you're going to see a lot of people going back to school in the next 18 months to learn new things, because South Node is the past. So going back to enhance their knowledge, okay, using schooling. But also there's going to be a restructuring and a shedding of college in some way. People realizing, you know what, I have all these degrees and it's not bringing me any benefit. So less people going to college over this next 18 months, or more people learning for themselves, being self-taught, okay? Like, I have a degree, but astrology was self-taught for me. I learned that in a very Gemini way, okay? I didn't have a, you know, master teacher helping me out. It was all just kind of me studying on my own and with the different sources that were around me. That's going to be a lot of what the collective's doing, taking their own initiative to learn over the next 18 months, okay? Which you're really going to see very, very strong, right? And then the South Node of Sag, the last thing I want to talk about is it's travel. It's long-distance travel as well. So there's going to be a shifting now in travel. You can see as well with the quarantine and things, how that definitely is going to be playing out over the next, you know, few months, especially, at least until, you know, the end of the year. I think it's going to be a focus as the world kind of starts to open up again, there's going to be more, I feel like, legislation, more restriction, more focus around travel, okay? Or even, right now as well, as I see a hawk circling, people could realize as they're stuck at home, I never have traveled this place. I want to do that once it opens up. So again, you can see two different things happening with the Sagittarian South Node, okay? An embracing and traveling, and also a restriction in traveling, okay? So that's the main energy I'm feeling coming in. It's going to be a definite, I think, a relief, because cardinal energy is intense. Cancer and Capricorn are cardinal energies about taking initiative, going head on into things. We've had to really just trust our emotions, go for things, really trust and commit to releasing certain things. But now mutability is about being adaptable, being versatile, being, changeable, okay? And so it's about, I wonder what this is. Let me try that out. That's going to be kind of more the energy, and less about, should I do this? I have to do that. What is the direction? What is the focus? It's been very kind of intense over the past 18 months, and especially with Saturn bringing in this energy as well, and Pluto. These are very intense energies, okay? Jupiter expands things. The South Node there really working on purging. This has been really dense energy, very heavy, a lot of heaviness, okay? But Gemini is ruled by Mercury, which is very light. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, which is the gaseous planet. So this is going to be a more, light energy, okay? We are still having Saturn moving through Aquarius. It's things that are still a little bit dense, but this is a more like things are opening up and there's new opportunities. We're looking for opportunities, possibilities. We're connecting, okay? Sharing. This is going to be things opening up, okay? The last thing I want to talk about before I go into the chart for you guys is, I don't even know what it is. And now there's going to be a focus of looking at where Mercury is, okay? Because Mercury is the ruling planet over of the North Node in Gemini, all right? The moon has played a very big importance. Notice how much the full moons have played an importance for you over the past 18 months. Like, oh my gosh, okay? Because the moon is the ruler over the North Node. Saturn has been a major, major key player over the past 18 months because he's the ruler over the South Node. We've been shedding his energies, okay? Now there's going to be a shift, and we're going to see a shedding of Jupiter's energy and an embrace of Mercury's energy, okay? So look in your birth chart. Where is Mercury? Where is Jupiter? Look where Jupiter is. There's going to be a shedding of that energy and a reworking of that energy. Also look at where Jupiter is transiting, like right now, not where it was when you were born, but where is it right now in your chart? Because that area is going to be the main area you're going to be working on releasing, okay? And look at Mercury. Where is Mercury in your birth chart? Because that area is going to be growing, okay? Also, where is Mercury moving through your birth chart right now? It's in Taurus currently, okay? This area is going to be where you're going to be developing, all right? And the last thing to look at as well, where is Gemini in your chart? Because this is where the North Node is moving into. This is where the areas is going to be developed and growing, okay? The South Node, Sagittarius, where is Sagittarius for you? Okay, because this area you're going to be working on releasing and shedding certain things, all right? And so this is, kind of what the focus is. Just to give an example, back in 2016, the North Node was in Virgo, okay? So we were growing in the energies of Virgo, and that happened to be in my first house. I'm a Virgo rising, okay? First house is who you are, your body, how you identify, all right? In 2016, I graduated from college and began my adult life, that kind of thing, okay? And really had to figure out, okay, where am I going? And also a lot of my path is, I didn't want a 9-to-5 job, that kind of thing. I kind of want to do my own thing. So it's about how am I going to invent myself now, okay? And so that was a major, major focus for me with the North Node there, okay? A reshifting of who I was. So wherever the North Node moves through your chart, it really shows how you're developing. Right, so that's going to be where we're going to be focused, and where you personally are going to be focused with the North Node moving through Gemini and seeing where that moves in your chart. Okay, that's where you're going to be growing, and Sagittarius is where you're going to be shedding. Okay, so that's what I have for the main talk about the node shifting, guys. It's a big, big transit that happens once every 18 months. I'm very excited for this energy shift. Okay, now let me pull up the charts for like real quick, few minutes, to show you visually what that looks like, okay? And really quick before I go into the charts, if you want a personal session with me, or you want me to explain the nodes, explain your natal nodes, how this North Node Gemini is going to be affecting you, or anything. Okay, I have lots of services. Check out my Instagram page under my highlights. Okay, my websites, I got a lot coming out with that. Okay, it's going to be a major, major change for me, so I'm taking more time with that. But until then, my services are on my Instagram page under my highlights. You can see everything, how to book with me and what I offer. Okay, so now let's get into, hopefully you can hear me as well. Someone's doing some lawn work, so I'm like kind of screaming into the camera. So hopefully you can hear me all right. But I just wanted to show the chart really quick so you can see the North Node, what it looks like, and how it's been moving. Okay, so this is the North Node here. Notice it's at the very end of the sign of Cancer. The North Node actually moves backwards. All the other planets move this way through the zodiac, but the North Node backtracks. Okay, so notice that 0 is the first part of the sign, and so it's at the very, very end. Let me go to November 2018 to show you. See, it was at the start of Cancer then. Okay, I wonder when did it move? See how it was at the end of Leo, North Node Leo, okay? And it moved about on the 7th of November of 2018, all right? And since then, it's been just moving on. Let me just move through the months. Just moving on down, backtracking through Cancer, okay? But notice the opposite point of the North Node is the South Node. This chart doesn't show the South Node, but the South Node would be exactly opposite of this sign here, okay? So it had to move over all these planets, okay, which was a lot, all right? So then we continue on through the year, and you see the North and the South Node. Notice the South Node was right there. This was an intense time last year, okay? Then we moved into 2020, okay? North Node's towards the end, all right? But look at all these planets here with the South Node. This is why January was intense, okay? A lot of shedding and releasing. And then now let's go to where we are now. The North Node has moved through Cancer, is now about to enter into Gemini. And now once we move into tomorrow on the 5th, North Node is now in Gemini for the next 18 months. So you can see moving to November, it starts to backtrack for the next 18 months until January of 2022, okay? And the South Node will be moving through Sagittarius, right? The last thing I want to talk about is this is really going to be a pretty beneficial alignment. There's not any tough, things that are going to be going on to affect the nodes, okay? The past 18 months, the South Node had to hit all these points, which was a lot, okay? And that just brought a lot of energy. And then we also had Uranus that was in late Aries that was squaring the North Node and the South Node, okay, which was a lot, okay. And so now with the North Node moving through Gemini, the only thing that's going to be affecting it is the square to Neptune. So, and what Neptune does is it's like Neptune is the opposite energy of Mercury. So Neptune fogs, it brings kind of confusion. So we're going to really be tested to really work our minds this next 18 months, okay? And also incorporate more spirituality, Neptune, into our mental, paradigm, okay? And our lifestyle, right? But other than Neptune, there's nothing really affecting this energy, okay? Chiron's going to be beneficially helping it, allowing us to heal our minds, okay? And then once the planets start to move into Aquarius, like once Saturn moves back into Aquarius, it begins to trine, which is a beautiful alignment, okay? Jupiter is going to trine the North Node and the South Node next year. Well, it's going to sextile the South Node, but trine the North Node, which is a beautiful alignment, okay? So this is really beneficial, what we're moving into, okay? And stepping out of some intense energy, guys, okay? We're still going to feel some intense energy with Saturn moving back into Capricorn, but I really feel that once we get into, let me show you a little bit more into next year. Let me go back a little bit, like March of 2021. North Node here, okay, being beautifully connected with Chiron, what I just said, trining Saturn and Jupiter, okay, and just beautiful support, okay. So I'm really excited for this transit, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into this video so you can get the tea about this energy, okay. Comment below as well. Let me know the past 18 months. How's the focus for you? Has it been very home focused, family, past childhood, karma, your emotions, all right? And then now moving forward, do you have plans to learn new things? Do you have plans to travel new places? Do you have plans to open your mind in new ways to connect with new people? Okay, let me know, all right? Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, sorry for the noise. It is a little loud, but I had this time slot to get this video out, so I wanted to get it out today before the nodes change. Okay, so much love, guys. Thank you for tuning in. The Waterberry is out.